just keeping me confident. I talked to one of my players on the team, Jalen Lee, before after we came out of the huddle. He was like, "Man, the next one's going in," because I missed the 2 previous ones. And I mean, Coach, offense coordinator, Coach Loud, drew up a great play, and we got a good look off of it. And thank God I made it.
Did Mizzou show you the look and the personnel that you expected on that play?
We figured that they were black 1 through 5. And they'd switch everything, so we just tried to get a quick slip or a quick fake just to try to throw them off guard, and if we can get a look for the basket.
And what kind of gives you the confidence to keep shooting? You kind of had a rough day from behind the arc. How do you just keep that confidence to keep putting them up and taking the biggest shot of the game?
Yeah, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He keeps me. It was a moment where I wasn't even playing. I wasn't even able to take those shots, and he held me down to that moment. Of course, my teammates and my coaches for just telling me that to win the game, to keep shooting because one of them's going to fall, and it did. And I'm excited. I'm thankful. Stay for the beer.
Wade, after you all opened the game on a nice run to build a nice lead, what did Mizzou do on both sides of the ball that allowed them to not only fight back but take a lead multiple times?
Yeah, I think they started offensive rebounding pretty well. They started hitting a couple shots. They started getting, I think I heard them call kills. That's like 3 stops in a row. It's just more kind of on our end. I think we kind of got away from what we were doing that was helping us get that lead. We started taking unpredictable shots. We weren't getting turkeys. We weren't getting stops. And I think that kind of led into how Missouri wants to play. They kind of want to get up and down and shoot a lot of quick shots. And we kind of fed into that when they started to come back. So I think once we slowed that down, it kind of bent back our way.
Wade, when Mizzou switched up its personnel in the second half, especially in the backcourt, they can send a lot of different guys at you in waves. How much of a challenge was that to adjust and basically weather that second half surge or comeback from home?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to stay poised. Me and Zurich kind of switched off on who was going to bring it up. But towards the end of the game, I told them that I got it to be there to help because I knew they were going to kind of send different guys. But Coach Gates had a phenomenal game plan. His guys played to it to a T. I'm just thankful that we came out to win.
Wade, how much of an asset is it to have guys like Henry Coleman and Pharrell Payne in the paint, grabbing rebounds? I think Coleman had 11 in the first half.
They make my job so easy. They're the reason that I can shoot those type of shots because I know that, one, they believe in me that I'm going to make it, but they believe and I believe that if I do miss it, that they're going to get it. Henry and Pharrell play phenomenal tonight. Pharrell is showing you guys what he is, and Henry's been doing this for a minute. Me and Henry have been in this gym together 4 times, and we've won. So I knew that when the game got close, Henry was going to come to perform. So those 2 guys are like my bodyguards. So I really appreciate it.
Wade, back to those opening minutes where you guys were able to build that quickly, what were you guys doing specifically that was able to kind of take away what Missouri likes to do offensively? Yeah,
like you said, Henry got a lot of rebounds in the beginning. We was getting off his rebounds. We were shooting the shots that we know we're able to make. We were making free throws. We were getting turkeys. I think we got 2 turkeys in the first media timeout. That just builds on our foundation, our recipe. We want to get stops. We want to limit you for getting extra shots, and we want to get extra shots. We want to try to get to the bonus first. And we were doing that thing. We were doing those things in the beginning of the game, which kind of led to the lead.
Wade, what was the game plan to prevent Caleb Grill from heating up on the perimeter?
We just try to do what every other team do. Just try to limit his shots. We know he's going to make tough ones. We tried our best. He's still a phenomenal player. I'm just thankful that he wasn't able to make it tonight.
All right, Wade, thank you.
All right, we'll go straight to questions with Buzz.
Coach, from your perspective, Wade's shot in that possession there, was that what you guys had dialed up? Was that the look? Kind of walk us through that sequence.
It was a draw up, like Forrest said. There's nothing that he will ever do on the court that surprises me. And I think that there is value in that our entire organization has great faith in him, regardless of what his stats are. Entering the game, during the game, that's probably his greatest gift, is he's fearless. But he's fearless with the appropriate amount of humility. And to his point, I thought what Coach Lyle drew up was spot on. And to some of the earlier questions, a lot of their personnel changes, but also their ball screen coverage changes. There's a lot of different things going on that don't necessarily show up in the box score. I thought the important thing was that we took the last shot. considering all that had transpired, particularly in the second half, we wanted to make sure that it was the last shot. And Andy is probably our best decision maker that has some level of size. And I thought how he handled the options in that, he's deserving of that credit too.
Coach, this marked the end of a 5-game stretch in which you played 4 away from home. The only blemish was that 1-point loss at Texas. So what are some of the biggest takeaways that you have from this mini gauntlet before you get back to Reed Arena?
We're looking forward to being back at home. We appreciate the people that support us when we play at home and on the road. January was a lot. I think January, whether I'm not speaking for Coach Gates or any other coach, I think history will say that this is statistically the best league ever. And so every organization is fighting for almost invisible margins, home or on the road. Obviously, if you have a choice, you would prefer to be at home. All of those games seem to happen in slow motion, similar to today's game. You don't necessarily ever think that it's over, ever, and you don't necessarily think that this possession is not the most monumental possession of this game, because I think that was our 10th game decided by 5 points or less. I know that that's a little bit more than your question, but some level of just being comfortable in the uncomfortableness of what this has become.
Coach, you're wearing the Rally for Ryan shirt.
Yeah, thanks for seeing it.
Yeah. What does that foundation, what's your familiarity with the foundation? And they've just crossed the $1 million threshold for their 10 years of existence.
Yeah, so I'll be transparent with you. I found out about it when I began preparing, and just the testimony of Ryan's parents is changed my heart. And so I didn't know until Coach Gates and I were texting yesterday as we were traveling that it was Coach Luce's daughter. I didn't know that. I used to write Coach Luce's dad when I was younger than you. And I used to write Coach Anderson prior to his appointment as the head coach at Missouri. But when I was researching the story of Ron, I didn't know that her dad was coach. And I didn't know her granddad was coach either. And so just great respect and admiration for that family's fight, and gratitude that Ryan seems to be doing well, but how her story has potentially maybe helped other Ryans over the last 10 years. And I noticed a lot of people were wearing this shirt. I sent our GA to buy this shirt when I saw people wearing it, looking for it at the concession stands. So pretty cool.
Coach, Mizzou went with one lineup for the majority of the second half. What was kind of your thoughts on that decision, and what worked well with it?
It caused a lot of stress for us. Coach Gates will be Coach of the Year 2 out of his first 3 years in the SEC. You can probably research that as a sentence in your story. I don't think that that's ever happened. It for sure hasn't happened considering the adversity that they fought through last year with the injuries and all of those things. I think he may be the most underrated head coach in the country. And I love Desiree. You guys probably know a little history on that. I absolutely have the most respect you can possibly have for Coach Gates, Coach CY, Coach Nutt and his story. He's very underrated as a tactician, and you can tell throughout his career, not only as a head coach but as an assistant coach, he was preparing for opportunities in specials, and the things that they do in specials are as good as anybody in the country, and I love studying them in the summer so I can steal a lot of it. But I can't answer the question for Coach, but I have some thoughts on why he was doing it. And it forced us to do some different things. which is obviously, I think, what he was probably anticipating.
Coach, you all dominated the boards in the first half.
And then they just absolutely punked us in the second half.
What would you diagnose as the changes there over the final 20 minutes?
Yeah. The easiest thing is they just whipped us. And I know that's probably not coach speak enough, but I think some of it has to do with his question. And I think statistically speaking, other than our off-ball turnovers to start the second half and some of our foul trouble issues that forced our rotation to be a little different, I thought that was the difference in the game. Statistically speaking, we did not reach our defensive rebound percentage average in conference play, nor our offensive rebound percentage average in play. And I thought that whoever shot the most balls today, specific to free throws and field goals, would probably have the best chance. I think entering today after 9 games, Missouri had attempted one more free throw in conference play than Texas A&M. And from a turnover situation, I think they had committed one more turnover than we have. And so when you looked for us from a statistical standpoint, what lever could we pull and have a chance, it would have been on the glass. And through our first 9 games, and a lot of those games, that was probably the lever that gave us a chance. And in the second half, that completely went away. I think in the first half, our offensive rebound percentage was 50%. For the game, it finished at 34. So I would say it was statistically our worst half on the glass from an offensive rebounding standpoint. And in the first half, we were in the mid to high 70s, I believe. That's only at halftime. And for the game, we finished at 68%. Like, that's hard to overcome, and that we shot more balls by 3 than they did. Not good. So they whipped us.
Coach, Coach Gates talked about how he thought the difference in the game was your guys' ability to convert on second chance opportunities, because you guys both had 11 offensive rebounds per team, but you guys had 18 second chance points and Mizzou had 9. What do you have to say about that?
11 to 9?
It was 18 to 9 second chance and tied in offensive rebounding.
You think this is right?
I hope so.
You know the people that keep it?
Yes.
You think they know what they're doing?
I hope so. Yeah, I definitely think so.
Then I wouldn't disagree with Coach. In a one-possession game, a 9-point difference is significant. And I think, a lot of those numbers are skewed, my personal opinion, whether they're right or wrong. The points in the paint, is that a part of second chance points, do you think? And do you think free throw makes are a part of getting fouled on offensive rebounds? Some of that's probably intertwined, but that is as bad as they whipped us in the first half or in the second half. Yes, sir. I would tend to agree.
Coach, what was the game plan for particularly Caleb Girl on the perimeter? Well, did you send doubles at him? Like, he didn't seem to get a good, comfortable shot off in the first half.
Yeah. Just to be vulnerable, I don't want to tell you everything because we could play him again, and I think he's critical to their team. And I also think 35 is critical to their team. Today, they shot 12 threes amongst them and shot 50%. And if you look at the success that they've had, that's a big part of it. Their volume of threes and their percentage from 3. I don't necessarily want to tell you our plan, not that we're smarter than anybody else, but 31 has played unbelievably well. And 25 may be the best prospect. 2 may be the most difficult matchup. I think 0 is probably an all-league defender in any league. And I think the kid from Florida, I met him one time.
Allen?
Yeah, I do. I think he has a bright future. Number 0. I think 0 may be the most improved freshman to sophomore in our league. So they cause a lot of problems. But 31 shooting 50% from 3. They had the best offense in the country in the month of January. And going into today's game, I think statistically speaking, their offense was 11. So we gave up too many points at the rim, to his question, and their roster changes. But just from a numerical standpoint, you're going to have to pick a poison, because it's not like they only have one poison to inject you with. And so some of that was just our thought
We'll
process.
have time for a couple more.
Coach, on Missouri's last offensive possession, not asking you to give up the state secrets, but what kind of look were you wanting to throw at them there, and did that pan out pretty much exactly as you wanted?
Yeah, was it out of bounds under?
I believe so.
Yeah. Is that right?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, thanks for paying attention. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 31 and 35 were both in the game. 25 was in the game, 33 wasn't in the game. All right, who were the two guards? 2 and?
1.
So it's similar to what I was just saying, like our plan relative to the two unbelievable shooters, 25's, you got to make a decision. He's so effective within 16 feet. And then two maybe among the best 3-level scorers that there is. And his ability to get fouled, I think they were second in the nation at getting fouled. And, you know, we were just okay with that. I also think another thing that influences some of that is their out of bounds offense and out of bounds defense. There is a lot of depth to what they do, and it requires you to make decisions prior to the inbound, regardless of which team's ball it is. And there's a little bit of that because he's constantly changing. I always felt a little bit of that on sideline out of bounds. Like we had to call the last time out, but coach is constantly changing that too. So like you go into a huddle and you go, guys, we're going to do this, this, and this, and they're comfortable with that. And then you go out there and coach is doing something completely different.
Coach on the back right.
Coach, Henry obviously got off.
Say that one more time.
Yes, Henry obviously got off to a great start on the boards. You used the word adversity a couple of minutes ago, referencing Mizzou from last season. This is somebody who, for your team, obviously dealt with a lot last year as well on the injury front. So to see the production now, to see your team growing as a unit, how gratifying is it to witness that coming from the young man?
Well, he has 2 incredible parents, and you guys can include this with commas on either side. You know, he's the NCAA men's basketball representative. And he's the only 3-time in a row commissioner appointed committee for student athletes. Like when you think what Barack Obama was at 22, that's who Henry is. Like just an unbelievable human being, already graduated from college. Everything about his life is pure. And I actually thought, just because I've known him for a long time, even prior to coming to College Station, I thought it was his best college game from start to finish and the impact that he had. I would say this year, that's the most he's played in any game. And in November and December, the analytics really loved him. But since we made the change because of injuries 2 weeks ago, we kind of adjusted where he started. And that's given us a little different dimension, but only because of his ability to execute and swing between both, not just offensively, but also defensively.
All right, that's a wrap.
All right, thank you guys. I know a lot of you guys are students. I used to be like you, and I tell our guys this all the time. Make sure you function with, here's 4 things for you. Ready? How old are you?
19.
All right. I'm assuming you're in the Missouri School of Journalism. All right. So here's four things that I write all people that I wish somebody would have told me. Number 1, you're going to type it, or are you just recording it?
I'll type it.
Okay. Read more than you think you should. 2, write down everything, comma, about everything, comma, all the time, period. 3, over the next 10 years, build as many relationships as you can, comma, and learn to connect the dots between those relationships. 4, never turn down an opportunity to learn, comma, or to work. Good luck.
Thanks, Coach.